Welcome to The Leading Edge, Conversations with Saskatoon's Leaders. Hi, my name is Dave Hagel and I'm your host. The focus of this show is on leadership. What is it? How does it work? What makes a leader tick? What are some of the challenges that leaders face? What are some of the advantages of being a leader? To explore these questions, I've invited leaders from Saskatoon to participate in this show. They come from a wide variety of backgrounds and professions. Some come from the private, public, and not-for-profit sectors. Others come from the entertainment industry and the sports world. Yet others come from no organization. They have demonstrated leadership in their personal lives. If you're aspiring to be a leader, stay tuned. I hope you'll find the show provoking and interesting and informative. If you're already a leader, we encourage you to watch as well. Hopefully, you'll learn some new tips and techniques that will take your leadership to the next level. My guest has been boxing for 19 years. She's a two-time national champion, member of the Canadian national team. She's an 8-time Golden Gloves champion, and she's the current bantamweight champion for professional boxing in Canada. And as well, she's the co-founder of Nelson Boxing in Saskatoon, and she's been recognized as introducing boxing to Saskatchewan. She's also a recipient of the YWCA Women of Distinction Award. So it's my pleasure to welcome Michelle Nelson. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
So how did you get involved in boxing?
Well, I first ended up at a boxing gym just to basically get in shape, and I was always rowdy, boxing with my sisters almost, and my mom just suggested it, and my dad thought it was a good idea, so I went there just to get in shape and ended up falling in love with the sport.
So how did you get involved in competitive boxing and, as far as the national team?
Well, when I first started boxing, it was just to get in shape, and after even just 2 weeks at the gym, one of the coaches, Luke, was, "Do you want to compete?" And I thought, I love this, it's fun, sure, I'd love to get in there and try it out. And I really didn't have too much of an idea of what boxing was all about, really. But I had one match, and I really enjoyed it. I actually lost that first match, but I wanted to come back and win the next one. So I just continued on doing it, and eventually went to being nationals and being on the national team.
So what caused you to create your own boxing school here in Saskatoon?
Well, really, I just kind of fell into it. My longtime trainer, John Devison, and me had been training at Saskatoon Boxing Club with another coach, Luke, and that club was closing down, and we really had nowhere to go train. There was another gym in the city we were using for a little bit, but John and me had always talked about kind of having our own facility. We took boxing really seriously, and some of the other gyms didn't. They closed down for the summer, and for us, that just didn't work. So we ended up just deciding to look for a building and opened a very small boxing club, and it just grew from there.
So what skills were you able to draw on as a boxer that help you in your current role as the person that runs Nelson Boxing?
Well, I guess as a boxer, when you get in the ring, you can't predict what's going to happen. You don't know what's coming at you. You have to, and that's the same I find with running my business, is you don't know what the next obstacle is going to be. And sometimes it doesn't go the way you want it to go, and you just have to get back in there and keep trying.
So what are the leadership skills that you learned by boxing on the national team, and how have you been able to apply those to your current role?
Well, we learned a lot, like definitely the dedication it took to get on that national team. My coach always made sure that I was working hard and stuff, but I had to kind of keep that commitment to keep training and work hard and just kind of overcome any obstacle that comes in your way. No matter what's going on in your life, you still have to be at training, and you have to do your best, and you have to get in there. You could be not feeling up to fighting that day, but that's the day the fight is, and you're fighting in the final, and you just gotta overcome anything in front of you.
So perseverance, dedication are obviously big skills that you've learned from being a boxer that have helped you in your current role.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So what are the challenges that you face as a leader in your current role?
In my current role, like One of the challenges, I guess, that we always face is funding for competitions. So that's why we kind of ended up expanding with our gym and creating our fitness boxing program. Another one of the challenges would be, I guess, is every kid and every adult you train for boxing is a little bit different, how they respond to different coaching techniques. Some you really got to push, and some you got to kind of more back off and build up their confidence a little bit. So every athlete responds a little different. So just finding that way that works with each individual athlete is always a challenge. But
So basically, one leadership style doesn't fit everybody.
yeah, definitely not.
Yeah, you got to use different styles for different people.
Yeah.
So in terms of fundraising, you said that was one of the challenges you had. You're a not-for-profit. How did you decide on a not-for-profit versus a for-profit?
Well, I know my idea and John's idea when we did start the gym wasn't at all to do with making money. We wanted to make sure that anything that the business brought in, we put back into taking the kids on competitions or building up the sport, and it just wasn't really even a question. We kind of just made it a not-for-profit and just stuck with that.
So what do you find to be the most gratifying thing as a leader?
Definitely getting in there at the competitions and seeing the success, and also seeing how the kids grow. You get some kids that come in, really quiet, unconfident, and within 6 months you see them getting into that ring, which is a huge accomplishment. It takes a lot to get in there. You see them coming out successful and confident, and that really, it means a lot to me to see how they grow, not only in the sport, but I think it gives them the confidence in life.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like to me, for you, giving confidence to people or building confidence to people is a big part of your leadership role.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So you do a lot of coaching, and you're also, you were just recently came back from Ontario where you were the coach of the Western Canadian boxing team. What do you see as being the difference between coaching and leadership, or is there any difference between the two?
I guess there'd be a slight difference, but a lot of it is the same. Like you still have to have those leadership qualities, I guess. The only difference in coaching, I guess, would be just, I don't know. I guess it'd be pretty similar, coaching and leadership. I mean, the kids have to have the confidence in you as a leader and as a coach, and believe what you're saying in the corner to be able to get out there and do their best. Mm-hmm. So you have to have those same leadership qualities as a coach.
So one of the things that leaders have is a vision, a long-term vision of the future. What's your vision for Nelson Boxing?
Well, my vision for Nelson Boxing is to just really keep promoting boxing, amateur boxing within the province, and build it up back to where it used to be. Over the years, amateur boxing declined a bit in Saskatchewan, and we have had so many talented people in Saskatchewan, talented boxers and youth, and just building it back up to that level, but also kind of introducing how boxing for fitness can benefit people in their lifestyle, like health-wise, as well as it's a really great stress relief. Just coming in, hitting the bag. So just introducing that to people. A lot of times, some people get bored with just running on a treadmill, but there's other options there.
So part of your vision is to not only introduce and grow boxing in Saskatchewan, but to get people back to a certain level of fitness.
Yeah, definitely boxing for fitness. It's a great way to get in shape, and just introducing that to people. Not a lot of people realize it's out there. They think of the typical boxing gym where it's quite intimidating to walk into and you have to be a certain age and be wanting to compete, but we offer where you don't have to compete. You're not going to ever get hit, but you can still participate in the same training that other boxers would participate in, and it's a great way to get in shape.
I'm speaking with Michelle Nelson, one of the co-owners of Nelson Boxing. And my name is Dave Hagel. I'm the host of the Leading Edge Conversations with Saskatoon Leaders. We'll be back in a moment.